John, do you know what right now happened 20 years ago today?
20 years ago today would be 2002. January, what's today? The 18th? 19th?
Yep. I think it is.
All right, Goff, go ahead.
Tom Brady advanced to the Super Bowl.
Close. Tom Brady won his first AFC championship.
Close.
Closer.
Well, technically, Bledsoe played that, if you remember back. Right.
Son of a bitch.
I don't know.
What?
Tuck rule game.
Stick.
Tuck coming.
I don't know.
Tuck coming.
It's going to come for 20 years.
Yeah. 20 years.
Ah.
Wait, the narrative certainly would have been changed on that.
Oh, my goodness. They're completely different.
Absolutely.
It's interesting. But I want to get back to...
So who did, in that situation, so you had your former teammates,
Pain in the ass.
Woodson and Brady.
Right. Yes.
You remember what your reaction was when you were watching that? I'm just curious. I know that.
No, it's all right. I honestly, I can't remember my reaction. It was, I saw him coming on the blitz, and I kept telling Tom to look out, and he didn't.
Don't worry about it.
Kind of like when he couldn't hear you when Brandon Graham was coming to the right. Playing on the line.
Gosh, I don't remember what side of the fence I was on at that time. I don't remember. It's been 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. All right, all the NIL with Kirby Smart, he makes great points. I mean, and maybe we will ask Tom Izzo about this when we join him when he joins us at 8 o'clock, because you have the same situation in basketball to a certain extent.
Oh, sure.
Kirby going all his age. I mean, why do you want to do that?
It's traveling, it's communication, and now you add in the fact that, you take a look at what Texas A&M is doing with the program, the NIL program they have in place, where they have the
That
donors,
piss
they
you
have
off?
a donor on a certain recruit, they go out, they find that they create this company to pay this kid. Like, there's a lot of work in establishing that structure and that framework. Right? So now you're a coach, you're trying to recruit these players, you're trying to communicate what you want to the donors, trying to get all of that set up so that you can then go to the recruit and say, here's what we have for you. Right? There's so much involved. And not only that, but you're recruiting players. Like when I was coming out of high school in 94, I committed October 2 of 93, which was my senior year of high school. And I believe, and I'd have to go back and fact check, but if I've talked to Marcus Ray, and I think committed on the same day, I was the first to commit for that recruiting class.
Wow.
And now you're
I remember covering that press conference.
Yes. Who's this guy? But now you have full recruiting classes that are done before some of these kids are even juniors in high school.
Right.
And so you're recruiting earlier. You're trying to evaluate, instead of an 18-year-old kid, you're trying to evaluate 14, 15, 16-year-olds. What are they going to be when they're 19, 20, 22?
Right.
Plus, you got to figure out how to pay them. And on top of that, you've got to recruit the kids that are already on your team so that they don't hit the portal and try and go somewhere else. It is a brutal process.
Let's go to Jermaine calling us in Rochester. Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going, fellas?
Good. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. Hey, I just want to say this. And you guys touched on this a little bit yesterday when you were talking about the basketball with the shot clock. It's all about evolution and it's all about change. And I get it. But this is going to be like the meteor hitting the earth and destroying the dinosaurs. This will get rid of all the old coaches. Because if they can't deal with it, they'll get replaced. It's all about change. And it's just like in the corporate world. I work in corporate, and if you're not on board with change, what will happen is you'll wind up being the person being changed. And that's what's happening with these coaches. It's just like you guys just talked about when you got recruited, what age you were. Well, you talked about it yesterday. If they're changing the shot clock and they want to change the shot clock in high school, you know why? Because they want to prepare the game for what's coming. Everything is just moving faster. And if you're not a coach that can get on board with that, you're going to be one of those ones that can change something.
So my question then is, do you want to
old-time coaches where they'll be like consultants, where they'll still be on staff or whatever, but they won't be doing the day-to-day grind because maybe their bodies can't handle it or whatever the case might be. But you know what? Again, I don't think the game is going to benefit from it. It's just like in the NFL. Everybody was so up in the roar about, how much offense and all the pass interference clause is destroying the game, yet still viewership is up. People just don't like change. The game will find a way to evolve, and people, when you get these new innovative coaches in, for example, you get a young coach in, what he may bring in, an old-time coach like an Izzo or whatever, to be a consultant that can still do, and help out.
Or Jermaine, the head coach will still be the head coach, but you'll see him more of a CEO, and then hire a lot of younger coordinators, recruiting coordinators. Well,
The staffs are going to grow, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's ridiculous, the staffs and the administrative offices of these football programs.
Some ticket text. John sounds like a Wolverine setting up an excuse for Harbaugh when he leaves the NFL. Now it's college football's fault, and Harbaugh is the savior again for leaving.
I don't get that one. But it's the same as like Mike Tomlin, right? When he was linked to USC. I mean, it couldn't have been more offensive to him that you would think he would go back to college. And a lot of the pro coaches, especially, Mike Vrabel, there's no way he goes back to college to coach at all because he doesn't want to recruit. He doesn't want to kiss the asses of 16, 17, 18-year-olds. Find a way to pay them. I mean, there's the scope of the job. Is, I guess, what I'm talking about.
They have to kiss the ass of the players of the pros, too, though.
Yeah, but at least you get some time off between puckering up.
Yeah, not as much as used to. These coaches make millions. I don't want to hear them complain about how much time they have to spend doing it. Cry me a river. Well, I think Kirby's talking about assistant coaches, and not all assistants, make millions of dollars. Some do, but the top level coordinators do. But no. Ryan says it's simple. A week after the championship game, recruiting starts. You have until spring practice to do whatever it takes, then shut it down. Also, in the intent letters, you have whatever deal you make with a kid, including what he must play every game or not, depending on his deal.
Oh, yeah. Tying participation in possible bowl games to his NIL deal.
Well, he didn't say anything about bowl games, but
Well, participation in games.
well, you're not going to pay a kid this amount of money if he's not going to play. He's going to be a reserve, probably.
Yeah.
Mike in Auburn Hills, you're 97 on a ticket.
Genie's out of the bottle, never to go back in.
I agree.
It's over. I'm telling you, so coach now has to not only deal with recruiting a kid and his parents, but then the NIL lawyer and what the deal is here and that. So what I see happening is, guys, it's already happening. They're doing it where the money is. They are going to follow the money in this program no matter what. I want to play for Michigan, but Indiana's offering me 50 grand. U of M's offering me 10 grand. I'm going to Indiana. That's coming. It's going to be there. They're going to follow the money.
So,
And dealing with the young kids and dealing with money and parents and lawyers and all that stuff. And then the people who really suffer out of this are the small schools. They're the ones who are not going to get the kid that might come play for them. Whether it's Division II, Division III, or lower Division I schools, they're just not going there because the money's not going to be there. And you're going to see the top get bigger and the smaller get smaller.
Well, I disagree with the Division II, Division III, because if the players aren't good enough to play Division I, they're going to have to need a place to play.
No, my point with that is like Grand Valley, the Ferrises, those schools are going to come up with money.
Right.
And they're going to continue to get the big get bigger.
Yeah.
And this is where it is. And the coaches, some coaches are going to coach no matter what. No
Right.
matter what. They're coaches.
They
That's
love
what are.
coaching, yes.
But why would you want to go back and deal with some parent and NIL guy about money? Because that's where it's at. It's already there.
well, I agree that, the genie's out of the bottle, toothpaste is out of whatever it is. The question is, I think that the follow-up question is, we know what's happening. Do you like it?
Right.
Or do you want it to go back, even though you know it can't? Do you like the direction that college football is headed?
Ticket text and telephone, 248-539-9797. Here's a text. Wow, assistant coach is making $400K to $1 million and leaving the job because it's hard and changing. Wow.
Again, I go back to Kirby Smart and live it.
Right.
sit in the third row. It was the absolute perfect ride, and here's what's great about what Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram does. From start to finish, from finding the car, to test driving, to financing, to delivery, it was a seamless operation. If you want to get in on the action, don't miss the Start Something New sales event where you can get the John Jansen deal on a new 2022 Compass Limited starting at only $288 a month. So whether you live in Novi, Southfield, Ferndale, or Allen Park, you're just a short drive or click away from the best car buying experience you're ever going to have. You can visit them online at southfieldchrysler.com. And remember, all roads in all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 and Telegraph.
97.1 Flat Ticket.
From the WWJE 950 Traffic Center, overall the roads still look great this morning. Just one minor issue. Southfield Freeway M39 southbound at Michigan Avenue. A crash is on the right shoulder. 75 northbound the exit ramp to 11 mile closed for long-term construction. Also Lincoln Avenue 10.5 is closed at 75. And then M59 Holbrook westbound will have some construction today. A right lane closure between North Avenue and Carter Road. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Text the ticket now. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
Twin means that much more in the NFL playoffs, and that's why FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking new customers up with 31 enhanced odds for the divisional playoffs. Bet 5 and win $150 on any team to win any divisional game. Just sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook, make a deposit to claim your 31 enhanced odds. There's no better place to bet on the NFL playoffs than America's #1 sportsbook. I like the app because it's easy to navigate around. Already have a FanDuel Sportsbook account. FanDuel's hooking up all customers with $50 when you refer a friend, plus your friend will get $50 too. Don't miss your chance to win $150 on a $5 bet when you use the promo code Doug when signing up. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, promo code Doug, and pick your divisional playoff team before kickoff. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. New Year's only, $10 first deposit required. Must wager in designated offer market. The maximum bonus $150. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of 97.1 The Tickets.
January 2022, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With the chance of mortgage interest rates rising this year, you don't want to miss out on your chance to refinance. Call Hall Financial to see if you qualify for our no appraisal late day close. Saving you time and money. Don't wait until rates rise. Call the company with nearly 5,000 five-star reviews. Get started right now, 866-CALL-HALL, or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Hall Financial, NMLS ID 1467435, Equal Housing Lender.
Why does Walgreens offer copays as low as $0 and 90-day refills? Because we care about Medicare, so you don't have to. I mean, do you really care to hear me go on about same-day prescription delivery making your life easier? Or how there's a pharmacy expert available 24/7 and one-click refills? Well, I just did anyways. Fill your Medicare prescriptions with Walgreens and save. $0 copays apply if you want generic drugs and select plans with Walgreens as a preferred pharmacy. Restrictions apply. See Walgreens.com/Medicare for complete details.
The small walnuts from Shelton. So this is a focal point in our Rose Pilates restaurant from the largest wine cellar in the city. She needs a robust sommelier with notes of procurement manager. Sections for France. I mean, this is the biggest. Indeed can help her hire great people fast. I need Indeed. Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You could save big when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, but when we just come out and say it, it feels like it falls a bit flat. So instead, we're going to have someone else say it. Because for some reason, when a random person talks about how great something is in a commercial, it's more believable.
I saved with a Progressive home and auto bundle.
And there you have it. I mean, I'm not sure why she's more believable than me, but either way, you get the point about the saving. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Here at Frank's Red Hot, we've put together a completely exhaustive list of essentials that will bring everyone together on game day. Number 1, Frank's Red Hot. Number 2, wings. Okay, it looks like that's it. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything. The casino games on my app are real. The slots are real. The blackjack is real. It's just like you're in a casino for real, which is awesome. But if I'm gonna be real, you can't feed other players to the Tigers when they win, and I miss that. Caesar is keeping it real, man.
think when you guys rag on players and the way that things are set up right now with the way players are starting to get paid.
Wait, Troy, before we go any further, I'm sorry,
who's ragging?
Who's ragging on the players? I just said
players. I hear.
Then turn right onto Inkster Road.
Okay.
Pull that. You're not excited about the future that NIL holds and the way it affects the sport. Is that fair? You think there's might be problems?
I think there's a lot of change,
but it's not because of the players. It's because of the way some schools seem to.
It's the business that it has become,
right.
And it's just changing the landscape.
It's not a level playing field.
No.
Maybe, but do you think that the locker room in Texas is the same as the locker room at some other D1 schools? There's always been inequality in these conferences, and Alabama always gets the best guys, and that's the way it kind of is. I think the exciting thing that is maybe maybe it's just a different conversation than the one you're having, but I think it's very exciting for players who are actually the sport, the people who are actually the value. If there's any value in college football, it's only from the players and the excitement around watching these young people compete and grow. I think for them to now be entitled or able to be entitled to the money that they deserve in multiple avenues, that's a good thing. That's an exciting thing.
I don't think anybody disagrees with that.
No, I agree.
At least we don't.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are people who disagree. I think it's fine. But, but it's not just this easy road because you have inequalities in some of the schools. I mean, we were talking off the air. Jimbo Fisher last week said basically NIL's been going on for years and years. It was just illegal.
Yeah, and
here's a
direct quote. NIL has been going on for a long time. It just hasn't been above board. Now it is.
Yeah.
And so, and maybe some of the more advanced programs that we're seeing now have just gone public. And again, we're connecting dots here. We're not making any accusations.
Right. So what you're saying, John, what it sounds like to me is then, in fact, nothing's changed.
Well, here's what I think has changed. I think that there are schools that are going to be a little bit late to the party in regards to NIL money that will now be able to participate in finding players money, and they'll be able to do it all above board. So in a utopic society, it will level the playing field. We don't live in that utopic society. No. We never will.
No. Well, you're just finding out who's spending now.
Right.
Basically.
Exactly. Yeah. Who's going to buy the best team?
So in some ways, it might force schools who haven't had the booster support to get it. I mean, to me, if I'm Michigan State right now, and with this Matt Ishbia connection, I would be ecstatic with the future of our athletics.
Absolutely.
Like, I would be more excited than a Michigan fan would be.
If you're willing to spend money, you've already shown you can spend it on your coach. And early on, we saw, what was it, $500 a player for the entire year. If you're willing to spend money on the players, now it's how do you take it to the next level? How do you compete with a Texas A&M that has a program like this in place? How do you compete with Alabama? Now, I will disagree with the caller. A lot of the players go to Alabama because it is literally a stopping point to the NFL.
Right. Look how many NFL players get drafted.
Right. And if you are a team that continually wins NCAA championships and national championships, why wouldn't you want to go there?
But my view from afar was something, when you have the pocketbooks of somebody like Ishbia, I don't think there's a limit.
Probably not.
I really don't. Now, look, there's a limit eventually.
Right.
But the wealth that he has, man, if he wants to commit it to athletics.
So, but this again gets back to my question of, what's the return on investments? These guys and women have not made all of their money simply by giving it away.
No, I understand that. But a lot of these guys,
in 19 miles,
whatever,
take
it's like the same thing.
To merge onto I-75 towards
professional sports teams that are money losers, but they have the satisfaction and the ego of saying, well, I own this team. Same thing you're going to find with,
Well, pardon my ignorance here on this. Do you get a tax break for giving to NIL?
I'm sure you get something.
I would imagine.
Yes.
Well, instead
485-399-9797. Do you like the fact that the Lions are finally, because it used to bother me that the Cubs and the Cleveland Indians to a lesser extent would get all this national publicity for being the lovable losers, and nobody ever talked about the Lions.
Is there a benefit in it?
Now we're starting to get some Lions talk about how bad they are, and hopefully that'll end, and hopefully Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and the company will get them on a nice little incline.
So
it's going to take a while.
Okay, we'll follow up on Stoney's question with, when does it end? How does it end? And is this the regime, Brad Holmes in his front office, Dan Campbell and his coaching staff?
At the next line, take a slight right turn.
Hey, I want to tell you about my bank. I've been bragging about it for some time now, and that's Level One Bank. It's my personal bank. It's where I do a majority of my business, my checking, my savings, and probably most importantly, my home mortgage. And if you've been looking to buy a new home or build a new home, if you're considering refinancing, I highly recommend taking a look at Level One Bank and everything that they offer. I want to tell you about my mortgage experience. I got a mortgage with them, I refied with them, and the entire experience was outstanding. The communication with my loan officer was great. They were patient with me. They were creative in structuring my loan because nobody's situation is ever the same as the next. And they made sure I was getting the best available rate. Level One Bank has earned my trust for all of these reasons. And I talked about the different products that they have, the mortgage programs. Now listen to this. First-time home buyer, new construction and renovation loans, jumbo loans, doctor loans. They even have a special mortgage program designed for first responders, medical professionals, teachers, and government or nonprofit employees. If you want to learn about any of these programs, go to level1bank.com. If you want to talk to someone, I'm one that likes to make a phone call and actually talk to a person. Call Dan Irvin at 866-707-LOAN. That's 866-707-LOAN. Level One Bank is a member of the FDIC and an equal housing lender.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this